other components of personal fall arrest system shall have a capacity of at least 2,300 kg and 5,000 lbs. Lanyards shall have a maximum length of 1.8 meter 6 feet. Thus, it shall be anchored high enough to prevent the worker from free falling more than 6 feet 1.8 meter or sticking any lower level should a fall occur. Horizontal and vertical lifeline shall be made from 10 mm 3 to 8 minutes diameter by rope. Horizontal lifeline shall be maintained with the sag at the center of no greater than 3000 mm. For every 10 mm, 33 feet of lifeline length between attachment, falling objects protection. Toy boards shall be installed on the edge of elevated work areas more than 1.8 meters 6 feet. Above lower level, it shall conform the FFG requirements. One minimum dimension of 100 mm, 4 in height, 25 mm, 1 thick. No more than 6 mm, 1 for above the working surface. 3 should without a force of at least 23 kg 50 lbs. When there is a danger for objects falling through guardrails, a protective screen minimum number 18 gauge wire with a maximum 13 mm mesh shall be securely fixed to the toy board, midrail and guard rail. Entry and exit. A safe means of access shall be provided whenever the scaffold platform is 0.6 m 2 feet above or below a point of access. If horizontal travel distance exceeds 15 meter 50 feet, each elevated work area shall have at least two means of exit. A means of exit shall be provided at least every 3 m 100 feet. Minimum clear headroom above scaffold platform shall be 1.8 meter to 6 feet. Temporary stairway, parts of stairway landing requirements at least 560 mm 20 wide and 760 mm 30 long shall have landing not more than every 3.7 to 1.2 vertical distance. Riser 150 mm 6 to 215 mm 8 depth shall be unformed with each flight of stairs. Add 22 mm 9 to 280 mm 100 wide. Stair slope between 30 to 35 degrees. Handrail 860 mm 34 to 940 mm 37 in height. 80 mm 3 clearance between wall or other object can withstand a force of at least 90 kg 200 lbs. Temporary ramps shall not be inclined more than a ratio of 1 3 or 20 degree above the horizontal, although a slope not over 15 degrees preferred. It steeper than ratio 1 for the ramp shall have clearance no more than 350 mm 14 apart. High winds. Personnel shall not be on any scaffold or other temporary elevated work area during storms or high wind. Sustained winds more than 65 kph 40 mph. Work over water. Personnel working over water shall have floating writing provide an interval not greater than 15 meters 50 feet and a man watch shall also be provided. Ladders, a slope of 4.1 slide rails rigidly attached to support structure top middle bottom. Rungs uniformly spaced between 250 mm 10 and 360 mm 14 all through 300 mm 12 inches is preferred. Shall have a minimum clear distance of 760 mm 30 to the nearest tracking object on the climb side, the distance may be reduced to 6, 10 mm, 24 inches if difficulter plates are provided. Distance on the climb side of the nearest object on the back side of the ladder shall be no less than 250 mm, 10 inches when unavailable. A minimum vertical toy clearance of 100 mm 4 shall apply. Scaffolding components. General scaffold components manufactured by different manufacturers should not be intermixed unless the component are compatible and the scaffold structure in integrity is maintained. All defective scaffold components shall be marked with bright fluorescent orange paint and immediately removed of Technimont property of project site. Scaffold tubing and fighting specifications. As per Aramco G1 8.001, fit scaffolding tubing 48.30 mm 1.90 inch nominal outside diameter. Type आ गया जी अस्टम ए 500 ग्रेड बी माइंजल स्ट्रेस 290 एम 42 के एस आई 30 के जी mm2 nominal wall thickness 3.40 mm 3.76 mm Astem A53 B 240 mm 35 KSI 24 kg mm2 with nominal wall thickness 3.68 mm BS 1139 grade part 1 second 1.11 mine yield stress 23 to 35 mm 3 34 KSI 24 kg mm2 4.00 mm EN 10 129 or mine yield stress 320 mm2 46 KSI 32 kg mm2 or nominal wall thickness 3.20 mm. Scaffold tubing and fighting specifications. Say working load of individual coupler. Type of coupler, type of load, mine EN74 class SWL mine. Right angle coupler double or load bearing. Slip along tube A 6.25 kN 1400 lbs. Adjust couplers civil slip along tube A 5.3 kN and 1190 lbs. And coupler sleeve tension B 3.0 kN 6.75 lbs and bending B 0.59 kN M for 35 lbs ft. Bearer coupler put lock single hose to pull the tube axially out of the coupler 0.53 kN 120 lbs. Grider coupler drop for shear 30 kN 6740 lbs per pair. Platform units wood plank solid sawn wood dimension 2 multiply 10 inch norm 2 multiply 9 inch raw 38 multiply 25 mm or 50 multiply 25 mm. Basics certified approved by West Coast Lumber Inspection Bureau WCLB, Southern Pine Inspection Bureau SPIB, American Lumber Standards Committee. Requirements shall be certified and bear a grade stamp, free from defects, spilled 25 mm 1 max WO bending, 300 mm 1 max W bending, twist 13 mm 1 2 max end to end. Shall not be painted teeth or cords except at the ends. Laminate veneer lumber 38 mm 1 to 1 by 2 by 12 25 mm 9 wide or larger. Shall have the world proof tested scaffold plank and OSHA or Technimont accepted equivalent continuously embossed on both edges. Shall be properly stacked. If height stack exceeds 20 planks, succeeding layers should be tied or bound. Shall not stood on and unattended. Requirement common to all scaffolds. Capacity. Every scaffold component shall be capable of supporting without failure its own weight, dead load, and at least four times the maximum intent load applied or transmitted to D plus 4L. Scaffolds or scaffold components shall not be loaded in excess on their load rating. The maximum allowable span for platforms shall be the shortest span required to support without failure. The platform units on weight and at least four times the most critical maximum intended load has shown. The maximum deflection from platform units shall not exceed 1/60th of the span length when supporting any of the unfactorable consequence of uniformly distributed concentrated loads. Foundation. Foundation shall be sound, rigid, and capable of carrying the scaffold self-weight plus the maximum intent load without settling or displacement. Scaffold shall not be hung from support by guardrails or handrails. Components. Timber scale sole boards requirement at least 225 mm 9 wide by 38 mm 1 thick shall extend under at least two posts standard if not applicable spill under individual posts shall be at least 760 mm 30 long. Steel base plates at least 150 multiply 150 mm and 6 mm thick, 6 multiply inches and 1 by 4 inches thick for special scaffold base shall be designed. Screw jacks shall not be adjusted to more than two-thirds of the total length of the threaded section.
It's okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
You did this good information given to you. Next, come forward and next person.
Stability. Scaffold post and frame shall be verified plumb and vertical bridge in the broad direction. Supported scaffold will the height to the uppermost plank level that is our time the minimum base dimensions. Our for one height to width rate shall be extended from
When we are putting up this underhand scaffolding or suspended scaffolding, at that time we require to this type of design because some guards, some beam, T iron is there, then we tie to these clamps there. And that capacity also we note to this. Yes, please.
tipping by tips guys outer frame and equivalent means tie and guys shall be installed as follow. Tie and guys shall be installed as follow. Stability. ये भी पढ़ लो. Only one additional lift allow a view.
One thing I mentioned here, 1 by 4. This is the ratio coming in the scaffolding. The barrier side, if we have a 1 meter, how much we can extend the scaffold? 4 meter only. If the barrier is 2 meters, then we can extend 8 meters, like this barrier. Otherwise, when we are tying to the scaffolding, barrier is short, we must be tied with the building. Otherwise, we put outriggers there. See to that sign is outriggers. Clear? The small side is called barrier, the long side is called runner. Okay.
Regard the in point. Single regard tube 6.4 m 21 feet. Max length no spills. Longitudinal structural base plate sole board short butt tube base plates. scaffolding platform construction and use. If that front edge of working platform is less than 36 mm forth from the face of the wall or structural girdles do not need to be erect from that edge. For medium duty and more heavy loaded scaffold at test list on board barrier enumerated trans shall be used in every by at each platform level. Plank should be scored on both ends by using fiber ropes, wire loosing, cambered top board, or other equivalent means. Plank and borders should not be nailed. The slope of platform on it shall not excess one vertical to four horizontal scaffolding platform. Indeed, and walkway should be at least 675 mm, 27 3 planks wide, including during irrigation, demarcating, and alterated. Scaffold material shall not be thrown to dropping from height.
Next.
Scaffold platform construction and use. माइक के सामने पड़ा आवाज आती है ना आवाज आ रही है Gap between platform units shall be less than 25 millimeter. One wide, when larger gaps are unavoidable, they shall be converted as follow. Gap less than 600 millimeters to in it width shall be converted at least 20 mm. One thick extractor grade plywood converting shall be side of the opening side shall be overplayed with that at least the width of the gap 12 min on both sides of the opening and held with cleats. Gap larger than 600 mm to in each in with width shall be converted with properly secured crossed planks. Safe safe landing shall be provided at the top of the ladders and at least heavy 9 m of the ladder high. If an internal leader is used, opening shall be at least 675 mm, 25 3 planks wide and not less than 900 millimeters, 36 deep. If an external leader is used, step through opening wide on graduals shall not be less than 675 mm, 27 or more than 760 mm, 30. The slope of scaffold platform unit shall not exceed 1 vertical to 4 horizontal. ये नहीं बनने वाला. Clearance. Scaffold operation adjacent to overhead power lines or probability ममनू बिल्कुल prohibit habitat बनता है prohibited unless one of the following conditions are satisfied. The power line has been energized, relocated, or protective. Converting installed to prevent accidental contact with the lines. It shall be lockout, tagout, satisfaction, declearance between scaffold and power lines. Clearance between scaffold and power lines. Less than 300 volts, 1 meter 3 feet, 300 volts if 5 kV, 3 meter 10 feet, less than 50 kV, more than 50 kV, 3 meters 10 feet plus 4 inches per kV over 50 kV, more than 50 kV.
Take the picture of this power because this is required. This is the coming contact. Some people they are asking. Keep in mind also how much KV, how much distance required.
Alternative 2x the length of the line insulator but never less than 3 meter 10 feet. Base of scaffold shall be at least 1.5 times to depth of excavation away from the edge of the excavation, including trench.
Next, Microsoft.
Rising and lowering material using gain wheels. The
That
gain
means also we are using the we become easy by this. Otherwise, we don't have a game pulley. Without this, it's difficult to pull the material. We are using this type of design. We put the force properly tied. Now showing you how we tie to this game wheel. The person also not standing under the road. He is giving distance far from that. Yeah.
The gain wheel shall be mounted on a cantilevered horizontal tube projecting outward from the scaffold and shall be kept to a minimum distance not greater than 70 mm, 750 mm 30. Tube shall be fixed with right angle couplers to two scaffolds. Post standards material to be raised shall not exceed 50 kg, 120 lbs. The rope shall be of the correct size to suit the gain wheel, usually 18 mm. 4. Right angle double couplers, ring type gain wheels, right angle double couplers, hook type gain wheels. Requirement common of system and tube of couplers subfold. Typical tube and coupler scuff hold. Horizontal member no left height shall exceed 2 meters. Horizontal member bears and boards barriers intermediate terms shall be installed on the top and underneath supporting runners. Bear terms runner ledges underneath barrier. Every line of post standard shall be runners ledges installed horizontally in continuous lengths along the entire scaffold length. Longevity and barrier storms installed in continuous lengths across the entire scaffold width transversely at each lift. Horizontal member bridging of scaffold shall be conceptual as follows. Typical bridging for two bays, light duty scaffold, breaking to outer and inner post standards line, maximum two bays. Horizontal members, bridging of scaffold, typical bridging of two bays, medium duty scaffold, ladder beam, maximum two bays. In certain cases, check couplers and double post standards may be required. Bench bracing and ladders beam to outer and inner post standard line. Horizontal members, bridging and scaffolds. Typical bridging for two base heavy-duty scaffold, Lattice unit beam, maximum two base. In certain cases, check couplers and double post standards may be required. Bracing and lattice unit beams to outer and inner post standard lines. Bracing, vertical bracing to prevent excessive sway is necessary in both the transverse and longitudinal direction for all the system and tube of and coupler scuff holes for all full heights of the scuff hole. Transverse sectional braces shall be connected to either post standards or runner ledges to close as possible as interception standards or runner ledges are close as of the barrier drums and post standards. Longitudinal facade braces shall be connected to post standard as close as possible to the intersection node point of the runner ledges and post standards. Bracing. Brace end may be joined together with end-to-end sleeve couplers. Alternatively, for brace subject to large tension load shall be overlapped and joined with the at least two adjustable swell couplers. Brace piles, brace connection. System scaffold. All system scaffold shall be erected
Now see,
per
this is a system
manufacturer's
scaffold. This is design. They come there. There's a proper hook. Only they are fixing to there. Okay. No need to extend. No need to reduce or something. Which says given that one you fix to there. This is a system scaffold. Yeah.
All system scaffold shall be erected per manufacturer published instruction and requirement of G.1.8.00.1. Typical system scaffold base in the process of being assembled and levitated. Typical system scaffold being assembled. System scaffold erection. System scaffold, unless otherwise specified in manufacturer instruction, all system scaffold shall be vertically braced in both directions with diagonal braces as close as 45 degrees as possible to its full height for each 10 meters 33 of run component from different scaffold manufacturers shall not be intermixed except when needed in bracing. Where specially designed system bracing cannot be used, tube and coupler scaffold components may be used for bracing of system scaffold. Connection shall be tightened with a single hammer to the wedge or cup to provide high degree of rigidity. Shall be connected by means of one and the following fasten methods. Captive wedge system such as Saudi scaffolding factory, Kiwi stage, quick fix systems such as layers all around, cup holding such as SGB cup lock. System scaffold component shall not be used to construct underhunge scaffold. System scaffold. The locking pin of a system scaffold shall not be used. Post standards shall be connected by bolted spigots and shall be secured into place using two spigot pins. For the situation where uplift may occur, the upper post standard shall slide over the spigot. System scaffold, unless otherwise justified and stated in writing by the system scaffold manufacturer, the maximum number of working levels of total plank level shall be as follow. Light duty maximum number of working level 1. max 1, 2, 3. Max total number plank platform level 963. Maximum scaffold height 38 meter 125 feet. 38 meter 125 feet. 28 meter 91 feet. Maximum medium duty. Maximum number of working people 1 to maximum total number of plank platform level 7 to maximum scaffold height 125 feet 78 feet. Typical tube and coupler scaffold. Post joint pins or preferable end-to-end sleeve couplers shall be used for joints in post standards. Our joint pins are only designed for compression load. End-to-end couplers shall be used where tension uplift can be present in a post standard or other scaffold. Tube joints in post standard shall be staged joint in adjacent posts shall not occur in the same left height. Runner ledges and barrier storms. Runner ledges and barrier storms shall be securely fixed to the inside of each handle when bears, storms, and boards barrier intermediate storms are coupled to runner ledges shall await be installed on top of the sporting runner. Bear toms, including board barriers, shall extend at least 100 mm far beyond the runner center line. Runner ledges and barrier toms. Runner ledges shall be connected to post ends only with right angle couplers. When barrier toms are coupled to post standards, the barrier shall be connected to the post only right angle load bearing couplers, and the couplers shall rest directly on the runner ledges right angle couplers. When a barrier trompe is coupled to a supporting runner ledger, the couplers shall never be more than 300 mm 12 apart from the post at left to be the plank. Right angle couplers should not be used attached base or board barriers or runners because of coupler bolts may be interfere with proper placement of planks. Instead, barrier couplers shall be used.
Runner, leggers, and barriers transport. Right angles double coupler shall be installed such that the load is against the hang and not against the boat. Scaffolds couplers shall be tied to the torque as indicated by the manufacturer, prefer, preferably between 40 kilogram meter 30 feet IBS and 80 kg meter 60 feet IBS. Only proper scaffolding spanners shall be used. Creator bars or longer hand lead wrenches shall not be used as they give greater le- leverage than proper scaffold spinner wrenches and could damage the couplers. Installations of right angle couplers. Right vertical bracing transverse bracings. The first diagonal brace shall be installed from the base of the first post diagonal upward to the first left
at whichever post is required to make the angle of the diagonal brace be between 30 and 55 degrees, maybe across two bays in one lift height. Additional diagonal brace shall be installed in alternating direction until reaching the top of the scaffold. Vertical bracing. For wide scaffold, this transverse zigzag bracing repeated across the width of the scaffold such that no more than three adjacent bays are open without transverse bracing. This set of transverse zigzag brace shall be installed at both scaffold and repeated along the length of the scaffold at least every third lines of post standards. Vertical bracing, transverse zigzag bracing for wide scaffolding, post barrier, fourth left, third left, second left, one. Vertical bracing, transverse bracing. The first two diagonal braces are installed forming an X shape. Thus, the first brace is installed from the base of the first post diagonally upward to the first lift at the post required for the base to be between 30 and 55 degrees, maybe across two bays in one lift height. The second brace is installed from the base of the same post, standard diagonally upward to the first post. This X bracing should be repeated up to the height of the scaffold at least every third lift. Two adjacent point lift height permitted. Vertical bracing. For wide scaffold side transfers, X bracing shall be repeated across the width of the scaffold such that no more than three adjacent bays are open without transverse bracing. This set of transverse X brace shall be installed at both scaffold ends and repeated along the length of the scaffold at last every third lines of post. Vertical bracing. Longitudinal bracing for a scaffold whose length is greater than its height. A diagonal brace shall be installed from the base of the first post upward at between 30, 35, and 55 degrees to the extreme top of the scaffold. This longitudinal bracing shall be repeated along the length of the scaffold longitude at least every fifth post. This longitudinal bracing shall be installed in opposite direction along the front and rears lines of post. Vertical bracing. Longitudinal bracing for a scaffold whose length is less than its height. The first diagonal brace shall be installed from the base of the first and post upward at between 35 and 55 degrees along the entire length of the scaffold to the last end post. Additional diagonal diagonal brace shall then be installed at between 35 and 55 degrees in alternating direction zigzag across the entire scaffold length until reach the top of the scaffold. The longitudinal bracing shall be installed in opposite direction along the front and rear lines of post. Vertical bracing, zigzag bracing. Uh, Interior longitudinal zigzag bracing for a scaffold with multiple bays across its width. The first diagonal brace shall be installed from the base of the front of the first post diagonally upward at between 35 and 55 degrees. The second post at the first lift across one bay in one lift height. Additional diagonal brace shall then be installed in alternating degree zigzag until reaching the top of the scaffold. Such longitudinal zigzag bracing shall be repeated along the length of the scaffold such that no more than four adjacent bays are open without longitudinal brace. This set of longitudinal zigzag brace shall be repeated across the width of the scaffold at least every third line of post. Light duty tube and cupola scaffold. Light duty scaffold loading 1 meter. One man and 20 kilogram maximum per square meter. Maximum total load 120 kilogram per square meter. 25 PSF. Light duty tube and cupola scaffolding. Embossed light duty tube and cupola scaffold post spacing. Embossed tubing. Number of 225 millimeters with plank per bay. Transfer post spacing beers transparency. Light duty tube and cupola scaffolding. Option 2. Maximum allowable post spacing light duty tube and cupola scaffolding. Light duty tube and cupola. Light duty tube and cupola scaffolding. Large post spacing may be used if justified by structural calculation or load test submitted or a review per GI 8.001 along with material tensiles wide stress test reports for the specific scaffold tubing to be used. All light duty tube and cupola scaffold may have a maximum of three working level is used at any one time only when there are no additional level where platform unit are installed. The maximum total number of levels that can be planked at one time depend on the number of working levels simultaneously used by workers. The maximum uniformly distributed load on each worker level shall be 120 kilogram per meter square. Maximum number of working level 1, 2, 3. Maximum total number plank platform level 963. Maximum scuff hold height 39 meter 38 meter 120 feet. 38 meter 125 feet. 28 meter 91 feet. Light duty tube scaffold required more than or above working of planked level or over the maximum height shown in the table shall be classified as a special scaffold and shall be properly designed and reviewed per G.1 8.001 preferably a proper design system. Scaffold should be used instead of tube and cupola construction of for scaffold over 38 meter 125 feet tall. Medium duty tube and cupola scaffold. 2 men and 40 kilogram maximum per square meter. Maximum total load 240 kilogram per square meter 50 PSF.
Okay.
57.
खैर 70 ਤੇ ਕਰਕੇ
Medium duty tube and coupler scaffold. All tubing used to construct medium duty and more heavily loaded tube and complex scaffold should be imposed. Maximum post spacing for medium duty scaffold. Large post spacing may be used as justified by structural calculation or load test submitted for review per G18001. Along with material test yield stress test reports for the specific scaffold tubing to be used. Medium duty tubing coupler scaffold may have a maximum of two working levels. Maximum of two working in use of any one time when only there are no additional levels where platform units are installed. However, when only one working level is being used, a maximum of additional six levels may be planned if they are not being used at the same time. The maximum distributed load on each working level shall not be exceed 240 kg per meter square. Maximum numbers of working level 1 2. Maximum total number plank platform level 7 and 2. Maximum scaffold height 38 meter 125 feet. 24 meter 78 feet. Working or plank level of the maximum height shown in the table shall be classified as a special scaffold. It shall be properly designed and reviewed by G1808001. Preferably, a properly designed system scaffold should be used instead of tube and coupler construction for scaffold over 38 meters. Mobile and
Design of mobile scaffold. Okay, just start with and with stopper.
Mobile and tower scaffold. Mobile and tower scaffold construction. Mobile and tower scaffold shall be plumb, level, and squared and be horizontally and vertically braced in both directions by diagonal braces. Plan horizontal bracing should be installed at the base, at the top, and at least every third lift of all mobile and tower scaffold to prevent tracking twisting. Mobile and tower scaffold construction. Tube and coupler mobile and tower scaffold that are 1 bay long and 1 bay wide, only 4 ports. Loading. Light duty. Maximum post spacing in both directions 2 meter. Steel tubing and manufactured and embossed and per specification. Yes. Additional requirement condition. Used only for personal access and inspection. At least 2 equally spaced board barriers should be used. Uppermost work platform height shall not exceed 4 times the minimum base dimension. Light duty. Maximum post and board spacing in both directions 1.7 meter. Steel tubing manufactured and embossed as per specification. No. Additional requirement condition. Uppermost work platform height shall not be exceed 4 times the minimum base dimension. Medium duty. Maximum post spacing in both directions 1.5 meter. Steel tubing manufactured and embossed as per specification. Yes. Additional requirement. Uppermost work platform height shall not exceed 4 times the minimum base dimension. Mobile scaffold. Yes, sir, पढ़ूं? Top rail, mid rail, toe board.
समझे ये टो बोर्ड के आगे 4 इंच 6 इंच तक होता है, ठीक है, टो बोर्ड मिड रेल 55 सेंटीमीटर याद रखता है, 50 सेंटीमीटर और टॉप रेल जो है वो 1 मीटर या 90 सेंटीमीटर से लेकर 1 मीटर तक.
Wire lashing, top, middle, and bottom. Ladder should be fixed to the narrow power width. Transverse ledge bracing, lacking casters. Bottom of ladders supported. Plan brace under deck. Mobile and tower scaffold construction.
उसका लॉक कैसे है, लॉक दबा के रखना होता है जब काम करना है। पिन भी डालनी है व्हील के अंदर, स्कॉटिश पिन भी डालनी पड़ती है।
Mobile scaffold related to light duty shall have started caster and not less than 120 mm. Mobile scaffold rated for medium duty should not have heavy duty steel casters not less than 170 mm. All casters shall be fitted with a positive wheel lock, which cannot be accidentally released, or to prevent movement while the mobile scaffold is being used. Casters shall be securely fixed to the base of scaffold post or screw jacks by locking pins. Mobile scaffold operation. Mobile scaffold should only be used and moved on surface sufficiently firm level to ensure stability. Where the scaffold is to be used on an elevated floor or roof, it shall be designed to apply load not greater than the capacity of the floor or roof. A mobile scaffold shall be moved only by manually pushing or pulling at the base. Force shall not be applied at the height greater than 1.5 meter above the supporting surface. No man equipment or material shall not be on the working platform or elsewhere on the scaffold while it is in motion. Casters shall be locked at all times except during scaffold movement. Temporary foundation or tasks shall be properly set in place on soft or uneven ground to facilitate movement of the mobile scaffold. The temporary foundation or track shall be level and properly secured. Fabricated tubular or frame scaffold. Fabricated tabular frame scaffold. All fabricated tabular frame scaffold should not be erected per manufacturer published instruction and the requirement of SA scaffold handbooks. It shall not be used for loading greater than a light duty loading of 120 kg per meter square. The maximum height shall be 6 meter. Components from different scaffold manufacturers shall not be intermixed. Each type must have flip-flop fitting in good condition for the attachment of horizontal member and diagonal member. Scissors cross bracing should be installed on both sides in every bay between each lift. A complete gradual system should be provided at every platform.
अब ये ब्रैकेट है, देखो नीचे ब्रैकेट लगे हुए आम तौर पे यूज करते हैं। ये डिजाइन आगे ब्रैकेट स्काफोल्डिंग। यस, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन।
तो यही gradius and platform for brake scaffolds. A continuous gardenal system shall be provided along the outside platform edges. If the gap on the inside platform edge to the platform exceeds 360 mm 14. A graph dial system shall be 14 inch. A guideline system shall be provided. Guidelines shall be constructed using either wire rope 10 mm 3 by 8 diameter. Main or steel dubbing can withstand a face of it is 90 kg, 200 lifts lbs. All working levels shall be fully planked. It lifts to but not more than 3 plants weight. Plants shall be overlapped in one direction only 230 mm 9 men. The area below the bracket scaffold shall be barricade and warning sign post. Cri- Criteria for undergrounding underhand scaffolds. All underhand scaffolds shall be hang from structures cap, capable of supporting at least 4 times the load imposed on them by the scaffold. A guideline, no, a guardrail system shall be provided. Underhang scaffold suspended by tubes and couplers. Suspension point of hanger tubes shall be scaffolded fixed to prevent their being dislodged by all potential forces acting upon them when a hanger tube is coupled to a horizontal tube that the place exerts the top of supporting beam. A second horizontal tube shall be attached under underneath the supporting beam with a pair of girder couplers. Both horizontal tubes shall be attached to the hanger with a right angle couplers. Check coupler shall be installed it top and bottoms of all angle tubes and bonneted triples tubes. Whenever possible, vertical hanger tube shall be in on length. Whenever possible, vertical hanger tube should be in on length where joints are necessary. The tube shall be single left using it less for couplers.
Again, under underarms underarms scaffolds suspended by tubes and couplers. Trapeze tubes shall be installed approximately 6 mm to below dismantling and also to service as a secondary support should the runner slip. Runners and bears shall be cupped to hanger tube using right angle couples. Hanger tube spacing shall comply with the tube and coupler post space requirements for the load duty of scaffold. At least one board beard shall be installed when the hanger space is more than 1.5 m part apart in the longitudinal direction. Only drop forget the coupler shall use for the support of hanging scaffolds. Pressures g- gr- grider Guided couplers shall not be used for the sports of hanging scaffolds. Scaffolds.
Now this one is suspended scaffolding, suspended. Okay, there is a one safety device. See, when the last we have a one clamp, that clamp is very important. The extra clamp we are putting to there, if the scaffolding slip after the time, then they can stop by that. See that the last one clamp, there is a small circle. As you didn't see, that one is very important. Always when you are acting on this under the suspended scaffold, we must put through this one. This is also fixed with the structure at the top. Yes, read this please.
A work platform shall have at least 6 suspension points evenly spaced and kept taut and shall be tied or otherwise secured to prevent if it from saving. Wire rope cable including connecting hardware shall be capable of supporting at least 6 times the maximum intended load applied for transmitted without failure. Wire suspension roll shall be minimum 9 mm diameter. Splane in wire ropes are not permitted. When an underlying scaffold is suspended by wire rope, such rope shall be wrapped at least twist around. Softens shall be used the sports member and twist around the beard of the scaffold. Space of wire rope used to carry the scaffold shall comply with the post space requirement for the duty of the scaffold. Suspense wire rope shall be shielded from heat producing processing. Wire rope shall be inspected for defects to each work shift and after very opinion which could affect a rope integrity. Use of wire rope clips. There shall be minimum of 3 clips installed at
This one is dead end, the other side. Which one is small piece coming back, that one is dead end. The other side who is going to there and then turning back, that side is live end. And 3 bolt we are using mostly. 3 bolt U side is dead end side. U bolt side is dead end side. U side. Okay, this is a U bolt.
There shall be minimum of 3 clips installed at the load end and 3 clips installed at the cement end of each rope. Clips installation and retracting. Okay. क्या re-entering after initial loading shall be according to the manufacturer's recommendations. When wire rope clips are used, the U-bolt shall be spaced over the dead end of the rope and saddle bridge shall be spaced over the live loaded and the end of the rope. Do not slide a dead horse. Little horse.
Okay, next.
Welding from unending scaffold, underhand scaffold suspended by wire ropes to reduce the possibility of welding current flowing through the suspension wire rope when performing welding from unthrowing underhand scaffold. The flowering precautions shall be taken as applicable. An insulated thimble shall be used to attach each suspension wire rope to its support. Additional independent lines to prove grounding shall be installed. All suspension wire rope shall be covered with insulating material extending at least 1.2 m 4-inch above the working platform. In addition to work lead attachment required by the welding process, a grounding conductor shall be connected from the scaffold to the structure. The size of these conductor shall be at least the size of welding process work lead, and these conductor shall not be in series with the welding process or the workpiece. If the scaffold grounding lead is disconnected at any time, the welding machine shall be shut off. An active welding rod or insulated welding lead shall not be allowed to contact the scaffold or its suspension system. Red scaffold.
Red tag. Okay, this one is law custom. This Sakala. Don't use to this scaffolding. This tag is there in the folder. And then after that, when you get a approval or test pass, then after that, they are giving a yellow tag or green tag. Yes.
Technimode supply. SAP indicates the scaffold has not been inspected or is not safe for use by anyone other than the scaffold erector craftsman.
Craftsman or scaffolding erector. This one is
Green
green tag. It means that people can use when they put a sign and said everything is well, then scaffolding supervisor is writing everything there. What is the purpose of the scaffolding? What is the capacity of scaffolding? Who is signing to there? So why they erect to this? These are things information they are writing to there. Then after that they sign, and then after that people can use.
indicates the scaffold is complete, has been inspected, and is safe for use at the time of inspection. Yellow scaffold tag indicates the scaffold has been inspected and may be used only by workers wearing a properly
Proper fall arrest system.
personal fall arrest system, including a full body harness and lanyard. Permanent marker pen.
This permanent marker also has the number, standard number. Okay? You don't take any marker and then after that start with this. There is a standard marker, which one you utilize to there in the scaffolding. Not your own marker or some other marker you use to there. This is the proper standard marker, which one you use to there.
Scaffold safety similar technique received G1 8.001 been approved issued last March 5 to 22 are requirement now in effect except for the certificate personal scaffold. Supply inspector and techniment approved supplies recruiter. July 1, 2003 total increment of scaffold certified supervisor. July 1, 2003 total informant of Technimont approved specialized scaffold for over 40 feet height or special scaffold no waiver. Special scaffold include higher than 1 to 5 foot tube and copper scaffold continued by more than 3 meter 10 foot. Bonded scaffold of more than 3 meter 3 to 0 foot platform area. Scaffold supporting loads greater than 240 kg. Scaffolds supported by are hung from one or more outrigger beams. Scaffolds supported by are hung from wind guides or roof of floating tanks.
Next.
Company-wide scaffold tagging red, green, yellow tags. Weak sinking interval maximum tag to be revalidated as need arise. Less than 20 feet high, only certificate scaffold supervisor will sign. Over 20 feet high, both certificate scaffold supervisor and inspector will